Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I'm here in Pittsburgh, PA. I'm quarantined, but just being quarantined is not enough. On top of being quarantined, I have a mask. I have a mask. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Okay. Everybody, who's there? Who's there? I have two masks. I have two masks. Hello, everyone. I have two masks. The more masks that you wear, the better. The more masks, the better. You probably need to cover your eyes as well as your mouth, okay? Even when you're in your house. All right. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? Listen, I'm just practicing good hygiene and procedures here. I'm just being careful. This is the only mask I had. I know there's some big holes in it. I don't think the coronavirus can get through, though. I don't think the corona can get through. It is a GI Joe mask. It is. Well, this is a stormtrooper. It's a stormtrooper and a GI Joe. A little bit of this mask. No air, no air. I can see you. No air. Okay. Better safe. Absolutely, Chief. Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Common Sense Academy. I'm your host, Joe Palmetto, having a little fun here. I do think that we need to take the coronavirus very seriously, but that doesn't mean I am not going to joke about it. Okay. I am going to joke about it. You can't stop me. But we do need to take it very, very seriously. I'm self-quarantining. Hello, everybody. I'm self-quarantining. I have my dad, who I visit on a regular basis, is in his 70s, and my grandma, bless her soul, is in her 90s, and I'm staying away from her. I'm not sick. I haven't been sick, but I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to get anybody else sick. So better safe than sorry, like the chief said. Absolutely. Overcompensate a little bit isn't going to hurt in this circumstance. So I'm staying clear, but I still have to ask the question, which is worse, coronavirus or sovereign citizens? Okay. Which one is worse? Look, the coronavirus may be gone. It may be a couple of weeks. It may be a couple of months. It may be a couple of years. Sovereign citizens aren't going anywhere, okay? Sovereign citizens aren't going anywhere. Hey, Kevin, thank you. Mrs. V, Marsha, Zaid, I'm not losing it. I'm not losing it. Not yet. Not as long as we can still tell jokes. Hi, Adam. Hello, Dana. A jacuzzi in Virginia. Carl, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Though I don't know, virus could spread in that jacuzzi, man. You better keep that to yourself. Better safe than sorry. Absolutely. Never robbed a bank in my life. Worked from home for 14 years. I should have warned you all that insanity takes hold quickly. I bet. Hey, Barbecue Bob, how you doing? Soft sits or go. I know. I mean, the first thing I see is a sovereign citizen more talking about how sovereign citizens don't get coronavirus. They're not affected by the air. I don't know if she was saying air or airs. Okay. You think a virus gives a shit? I mean, come on. Come on. Archangel for truth. Come on, man. We're just having fun. Coronavirus will go away. Exactly, Chief. Exactly. 8 rolls of toilet paper. Listen, here's my if I have running water and internet, I can last for a really freaking long time, man. If I have running water and the internet, I can last forever. She meant airs. Yeah, okay, thank you, Ms. V. I was a little bit confused. She's like, it does. So what is she saying? The coronavirus is only a genetic disease? Okay, coronavirus is not a genetic disease. It's a virus, right? There's a whole bunch of different types of different diseases. There are viruses. There is bacteria. And there are genetic diseases. Coronavirus is not a genetic disease. Don't dispute what they think. Encourage window licking. Maybe Archangel should meet up. I'll show them a joke. Steve, relax. 8 rolls of toilet paper. Hello, everybody. There is cabin fever. I'm not at the cabin fever point yet. I'm just wearing my mask, okay? I'm not there yet, but it may come. It may come. You got your black rifle ready? Okay. I'm actually, you probably saw in my thumbnail, I'm cheating today. I'm cheating on my black rifle. I'm cheating. Today I'm drinking Dunkin' Donuts. Yes. I went to Dunkin' Donuts. Here's the thing for me. Oh God. For me, this feels like a weekend. And like, I don't want to downplay, the economic damage from this is very, very real. It's very, very real. And, I have to go, the courts. So it was a slow trickle to the courts closing. Last week, the federal courts in the Western District of Pennsylvania and Ohio took some steps, canceled jury trials. Then late in the week, Allegheny County, which is the largest county, it holds Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania, they canceled jury trials. At the same time, Philadelphia started canceling things, and it was a slow trickle. So this week, yesterday, I had court dates every day this week. I had a court today. I had a preliminary hearing. Tomorrow, I had a custody trial. Thursday, I had a preliminary hearing and a summary trial. And Friday, I was free. So I had my whole week laid out like I was going to go to court. And then today it was like, it was just rapid fire. It was just boom, 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 boom. It was like dominoes. All the courts just started canceling court. So, and then my custody trials in Armstrong County, Pennsylvania. All right. And they don't have any cases of COVID-19. So they're holding out. And I don't think anybody involved in this custody trial actually wanted to go to the trial, especially the 2 attorneys who work from Pittsburgh. So we banged out a custody order agreement at the last second. She emailed it to the judge at 6:00. Who knows? He might be calling me in the morning like, where are you? No, he's going to be happy because he's going to have that custody order in front of him, 9 a.m. He's not going to have to do what was going to be a full day trial. He's going to be happy. So we banged that out at 6:00, and it's like, boom, freedom. It was freedom. So I don't have to go to court tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. I'll be able to catch up on a lot of work, hopefully make a bunch of videos. But it's definitely going to hurt my checkbook, especially in criminal defense. If clients don't have court dates, okay, they don't pay. If clients don't have court dates, and that motivates them to pay. And I get it. Like, I wouldn't pay either if my court date's a month out. I'd be like, I don't have to pay that attorney until like a week before. So all the court dates now in Western PA are pushed out to the middle of April. So, I have a little bit of money saved up, but I'm basically going to go a month without income, which is going to hurt. And if it's longer than a month, it's really going to hurt. Live streams are good for cabin fever. It seems we better that, that's what I said, Ms. V. I missed my 8:00. I was on the phone. But did you stay 6 feet away from the Dunkin' staff? Bob, no. Okay, number one, first I'll show you guys. Wait, I'll show you guys here. On my, I don't know how many you have. I have the Dunkin' Donuts app. So the nice thing is I don't have to exchange any bills with them. I just go and I can scan. Okay. So I use the app. I purchased my Dunkin' on the app. Chief, I cannot survive without Primanti Brothers. All right. I cannot survive. I bet they're still doing delivery. Let me tell you though, making those Primanti Brothers sandwiches, they got their fingers all over your food. I believe hopefully they're wearing gloves. I didn't stay away from the Dunkin' staff, but it was a drive-through. So they handled my food to some degree, but anything transmitted would have to be through that window, or they got it on my cup. I don't know. What do you think about the clowns in Kentucky who hoarded hand sanitizer and toilet paper? I mean, those people are just jagoffs. buy what you need and leave the rest for everybody else. Buy what you need. If you're going to buy some extra, I get that. But don't be a jagoff. Virginia Supreme Court issued closure this morning for the whole state. So did New York. Pennsylvania has not done that. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court left it up to each individual court. And that's more or less how it's playing out. I think the police, somebody might be after that hand sanitizer guy. They're crushing him in the media. They are crushing him in the media. Like that was not a smart move, bro. Not a smart move. Do you still do trial by combat? Joe Donho, no, but I would love to bring it back. I would love to bring it back. Look, I don't have to fight. My clients would fight each other. I think my job as an attorney, if we had trial by combat, would be to assess the fighting capability of my client and then to advise him as to whether or not that's a good decision. Like, I think you could kick that guy's ass, or I might have, you could kick that lady's ass. Trial by combat. Evening, Gary. Thanks for joining me. CW Niles, west side of Indianapolis. Shelves are empty here, too. They're empty almost everywhere. I mean, I was talking to people in West Virginia who just got their first confirmed case, and the shelves are empty in West Virginia. Ms. V, sanity is overrated. Probably. Everything I learned about lawyering, I learned from Saul Goodman. I love Better Call Saul. And I'm telling you, on so many levels, it is the most realistic lawyering show you will ever see. On so many levels. Some of it's out there, but on so many listen, you guys want to have, maybe I should do this on a live feed, okay? I'm not gonna do this, all right, because I respect my colleagues and everybody makes mistakes. But I'm gonna give you a little gold dust here. Any state, if you get disciplined by the disciplinary board, okay, part of your punishment is that they make public what you did as an attorney. Okay, if you go onto those websites and read the disciplinary board summaries, you will laugh your face off, and you will realize that many more attorneys are like Saul Goodman than you thought. The same sovereign citizen I've been talking about had a heart attack last week. Oh, geez. Well, when you lie to yourself for so long, maybe that's the consequence. I don't wish death on anybody. I don't wish death on them. I hope they recover from that heart attack. By the way, those guys who were hoarding donated it all. Good to hear. I was in Walmart. Even tuna is gone. Everyone is worried about all the possible deaths. I'm more concerned about all the births. I mean, Kevin, in a strange way, again, I don't wish death on everybody. Don't take my words out of context, but some of the old people are dying, and then and we're getting more young people. As a respiratory therapist, I did not laugh. Walter White, I imagine. I'm not, that's fine. I am going to make jokes, but I get it. You should come to my psych unit. We have trial by combat daily. Look, we did some crazy stuff. I was in the Air Force. I was never stationed in a combat area. Okay. But we did some really stupid stuff fighting each other. I always drive my family to Primanti Brothers in Youngstown. Love it. Yeah, I love Primanti's too, Chief. And I was so happy when they started to go national. And one of the first ones that they opened up outside of Pittsburgh was in Florida. And my mom lives in Florida. So I was going to Primanti Brothers here in Pittsburgh and in Florida. The quarantines. Oh, stop. Comfort doll. That is a good one. Comfort doll. I like that. The quarantines. That is good. Since soft sits are travelers, do they still use the drive-through? Didn't you hear? They don't have to pay at the drive-through since they're traveling, not driving. Even my duty crew is watching. I'm good. I'm glad. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Soft sit's got enough problems without having coronaries. Amen to that. Be kind to your local truck driver if you like eating. So I heard that they were closing down some of the truck stops in Pennsylvania. I was like, you have to be kidding me. Look, truckers right now are the most important people in this country. They're up there with medical workers. I will be AFK from time to time doing chores. No problem. Our Primanti Brothers here closed and moved away. Yeah, it didn't catch on everywhere. But all the ones they opened up in Pittsburgh have lasted. They spread them out all over the city. The origination of Primanti Brothers. My brother is an over the road truck driver. He's still rolling trailers everywhere. I heard at least in Pennsylvania, I don't know if it was federal, but they extended the drive time for truckers because there's certain rules when they're supposed to take breaks, et cetera, et cetera. But they relaxed those rules during coronavirus, which I think is great because right now they're the ones refilling the grocery stores. They're the most people out there. I was in a combat unit in Naha whenever the sailors got uppity. Barbecue Bob, I almost came this close to fighting a sailor who was right outside my Air Force base. It didn't happen, but we got pretty close. Did get into a fight with got into fights with other Air Force guys, believe it or not. Never any Marines or sailors, though they were around, and the Marines, they talked a lot of smack. How much student loans do sovereign citizens have? So much that they don't even want to count them, trust me. I wonder if they closed down the Bunny Ranch in Nevada. Oh my God. Gary, I hope so. All right. I mean, we would hope so. All right, we're 16 minutes in, and we got to do a same time sip here. Let's pause a little bit. I'm going to say a little word, maybe just a quick little prayer here. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, let's hope this coronavirus doesn't cause that many deaths. Okay, let's hope that our country deals with it in a safe and sane manner, and that we get through this together. I'm not one to pray too much, but I'll do a little prayer here. Praise be to God. Help us get through this. On top of that, let's be thankful that we all have food. We all have a warm place to stay. When contagions hit 100 years ago, people didn't have anywhere to go, and there wasn't many ways for them to stop from getting sick. So let's be thankful we are where we are. So anyone, if you have a drink, let's be thankful for the drink that you have. Raise your cup in the air, whether it be vodka, beer, yoo-hoo, like certain people who watch. I got coffee. I also got a diet drink right here. Like I said, it's my weekend, so I'm drinking caffeine well into the night. It always tastes better when we sip together. Let's do a same time sip. Cheers. Thank you. Oh my God, the Mayan prediction. I do remember that, John. I do. That was ridiculous. Y2K. We can go over all the famous mass hysterias that turned into nothing. The weird thing with this virus is it's I think we're in the fog of war right now. It's very difficult to tell how serious this actually is, because the numbers make it not look that serious, but then all the experts are saying that it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I don't know. That's why it's better to be safe than sorry, like the chief said. I believe in that 100%. Better. Let's be safe. Let's be safe rather than be sorry. Amen to that. Amen to that. Sorry, just taking care of a couple of texts, everybody. A Jewish, a Catholic, and a Protestant one. Is that a joke, Joe Donho? You better finish it. Let me send this text real quick, guys. I'm rubbing my nose. I'm not sick. I'll tell you one thing. All this talking about touching the face, like I'm one of those people. If you tell me not to touch my face, then I'm conscious of it and I do it more. Okay. Yeah, thanks China for wrecking the entire world. Here's this is not probably going to be very politically correct, but China and those East Asian countries. Let me start out with this is like I lived in Japan for 2.5 years. I love Japan. Japan is an amazing country. If you've never visited, I highly recommend that you visit one day once all this hysteria is over. Unfortunately, they had to cancel the Olympics. One thing about the Japanese is they are extremely clean. Like they are that country, like walking around Tokyo, this massive city, it is massive. It is so clean. It blows your mind that a city that big could be that clean. Okay. And if you look, the Japanese numbers are very low, very low. And I don't know what they did, but they shut it down very quickly, right? And they're right across the pond from China and South Korea. South Korea was able to shut it down, though. They got a lot more infections than Japan did. Thank you, Giordano. I'm talking Corona. I'm talking Corona. Okay, but here's the thing. Those wild animal markets. Okay, I was watching. You guys watch Joe Rogan. I was watching Joe Rogan. He had this viral expert on, and he was talking about the animal markets in China. He said he was walking around one of these markets in China, and there was a cage with ferrets on the bottom, and then chickens on top. And he said that is basically the worst that's like a petri dish for virus creation. He said because chickens carry a lot of viruses and they excrete them, and then ferrets are perfect for like their respiratory systems are large, so they inhale them. It's like the perfect storm for viruses. I don't know if you watched the videos of the wild animal markets in China. I was absolutely blown away. Number one, it's literally bats, snakes, dogs, small mammals that I've never seen, stacked one after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. I'm not exaggerating. After another, after another. Okay, like bats on a stick. All right, and the butchers are out there chopping this stuff up. The blood is everywhere. Sorry, I mean to gross everybody out. The blood is everywhere, and it's like no thing. It's like no thing. Like everybody's walking around, blah blah blah. Oh, blood here, blood there, no big deal. Okay, that's a problem. And again, we see it out of China, H1N1, SARS, coronavirus. So, I love East Asian culture. I do. I lived in Japan for 2.5 years. I've never visited China. I'd love to go. South Korea. I love their culture. I love their people. But I think they need to cut that stuff out. Okay. I understand they've been doing it for a long time, but it needs to end. It also puts they're also putting driving species to become endangered species, driving them to extinction because they want to sell them in these crazy markets. It's got to end. I'm sorry. If you have to bring the animals alive, very simple. If you don't have refrigerators, you have to bring the animals alive to market. I get it, but mixing all of those different species in one market like that is is a petri dish for virus creation. You know what really struck me when I was in Tokyo? The fact that if Fuji ever erupted, there'd be 10 million plus dead. Well, yeah, that's true. That is very true. That's very true. Yeah, you know, the island of Japan, I mean, Japan itself is truly amazing. Like they get hit by earthquakes, okay, tsunamis. They've been hit by nuclear bombs. I mean, the Japanese have been through a lot. They are very, very resilient people. And if Yellowstone goes, it will be billions. I mean, if the wrong volcano goes, it could end humanity. How old is he, Kevin? Are you buying because he's a minor or because he's prohibited possessor? Japan, one huge germophobic society. They are, Gary. They are. But I mean, like it's really neat though. It's like you go. Japan like has these ramen restaurants. God, I haven't been there, and so I want to go back. But these ramen restaurants with like stainless steel counters, and I mean they are just cleaning. They're cleaning constantly. Like it's great. It's great. I love Japan. Yeah, Godzilla. Yeah, don't forget. Absolutely, Godzilla is coming. Godzilla is coming. I wanted to see Godzilla wake up during the Olympics. Yes, super volcanoes are very real, and honest, that's the biggest threat probably to humanity, destroying humanity as a whole. Super volcanoes or an asteroid, a meteorite. Their justice system is pretty efficient. Yeah, their justice system is pretty brutal too. That's one thing about Japan. I wouldn't want to break the law in Japan. Every Sov Sit is like a descendant of Typhus Mary. People in Tokyo have I yelled, "Look, Godzilla come," and they called me Baka Eru Gaijin. You are a crazy foreigner, Bob. You are. That was for the same time sit. He's 10 and just started to get interested in shooting something besides his BB gun. Yeah, Japanese have their sense of humor is a little bit different. If you learn how to press the buttons, though, they have a really fantastic sense of humor, I have found. Does Japan have sovereign citizens? I have not seen the sovereign citizens. Oh, shoot. I found one in Italy, though. I found one in Italy. That's going to be my next video. I forgot. I found an Italian sovereign citizen. Yeah, this is going to be good. That will be my next video. Hey, Joe, I've been working all those years. I had to work on patrol during the sovereign citizen's age. We'll text it to you soon. All right. Sounds good, Chief. Send it my way. Send it. Hey, Steve. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Here's I'll talk about Japan a little bit, unless you guys want to talk about something else. So one of the myths about now Tokyo is extremely clean. Okay, it's extremely clean in the ways that we think about things being dirty, right? Like trash on the side of the road. Okay, and you really don't see many homeless people around. All of that is true. However, there are homeless people in Japan, in Tokyo. And I found some of them. They hang out around the train stations, okay? And they really tend to do a good job of, I think, hiding themselves. That's why people think Japan doesn't have homeless people, because the homeless people take a lot of care to hide themselves and or to not necessarily look homeless, okay? Whereas the homeless population in the United States, when you see them, it is abundantly obvious that they are homeless. So I was on the Ginza wearing a Marine uniform, not likable to many. Yeah, especially back in, yeah, definitely, Bob, definitely, even now. So I encountered one of these, me and my friend, because Tokyo, it's unbelievable. It is extremely safe to walk around the cities in Japan. It is. This crime is very, very limited. And if you're a foreigner, they kind of just leave you alone. Like they just sort of leave you alone. The police will watch you, but like you're not otherwise like a target, okay, for like getting robbed. Like I think they would rather rob other Japanese people. Anyway, crime is extremely low. So me and my buddy, we would just walk around Tokyo just for fun, like urban hiking almost. So, I've heard that term. I did this before I knew that was a term. So we came across like a homeless enclave around the train station in Shinjuku. If you've been to Shinjuku, I studied Japanese for a little bit. So we came across this homeless enclave. They were sort of under this tunnel thing, and this guy was pushing a cart. And the homeless in the United States have a cart, and there might be like a blanket over it. You open up, there's just like stuff popping all out, like paper towels and Lysol and a little bit of food. This Japanese guy, his homeless grocery cart, okay, was neatly organized into boxes. And it was literally like, so he had like a little box of food, a little box of his cleaning products, a little box of like his hygiene products, a little box here with like newspapers. So here's the thing. The Japanese have homeless people, and they probably don't have as many, but they have them. But they are the neatest and tidiest homeless people in the way you've ever seen. Is anybody watching Japanese? Any Japanese people that can back me up? Some of you have been to Japan. According to the official data, the number of homeless people had decreased by 77% in the last 11 years, with a total of 5,000 in Japan and 1,200 specifically in Tokyo. I disagree. Gary, that's probably wrong, but they definitely have less homeless people than American cities by far. And Chief, you're right about their police system. Here's what I like about their police system. You might enjoy this, Chief. I don't know how much you know, but they have, so I studied Japanese. One thing about when you start to learn another language, you also automatically learn about the culture. And the Japanese have what they call kobans, okay? And they're basically police boxes. Now, for instance, if you go into you go into downtown Pittsburgh, okay, the main police station is not even in downtown Pittsburgh, all right? The main police station is not even in downtown Pittsburgh. I don't even know what stations they have. Hey, Roscoe, thanks for joining me, sir. Thank you for joining me. I don't even know how many stations they have, all right, in the downtown area of Pittsburgh. But mostly the police in the United States, in the major cities, you will see in New York City, maybe a little different, all right, drive on patrol. Pittsburgh did just implement some horse police, which I think is really cool, some mounted police. Chief, you like mounted police? I love mounted police. I think it's so cool. I think it's a good presence to have around the cities as well. And the police, Pittsburgh just got a mounted force. Anyway, in Japan, they have kobans, okay? You will not go 2 blocks in Tokyo without a koban, okay? And there may only be 2 officers in there, but there's always at least 1 in there. And they sit at the window, and they're there to serve the public. And so you can literally go up to them. Now, they don't necessarily want to deal with foreigners. I can tell you that. Some of them I've talked to have been very helpful, but some of them will, like, Japanese people are so polite, like, they won't just tell you to F off. They'll just pretend they don't speak English. Okay. And that's not true, because most of them speak English. Most Japanese speak English. At least to some degree. They all take English, and then they take another language. So you can go up to the kobans and you can ask for directions. You can ask where the train station is. You can ask if there's an event going on nearby. It's like the officers are there to specifically help you And it's really kind of a neat thing, but it's also psychological because you know that there is a police officer around every corner. And that probably, yeah, I mean, they have a very effective police system. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with one of the reasons that they're extremely low crime country. And that contributed to me, I didn't mind like walking around at night. It's like there's like you have one or two officers could be, are always close by. One thing about Japan though is like you want to talk about civil rights. They can just walk if they walk up to you, and I've covered this in a lot of my episodes, right? Like police in America with the rights that we have, they usually need some sort of reasonable suspicion to ask you to identify yourself. Well, that is not the case in Japan. If they walk up to you, you have to identify yourself. Now, I don't know the rules for Japanese citizens, but as a foreigner, you have to carry your visa on you at all times. You cannot basically walk about in Japan without your visa. And if they ask you to produce it, you have to produce it. Now, that never happened to me, but it happened to a lot of people that I know. Another strange thing, this is not politically correct. I might get some heat for this. I don't know. The Japanese, I can't really speak on how they treat most other people. All right. But if you're an American, like they like you and they'll treat you better than other foreigners. Like you're still a foreigner, but they like you. So I never had a lot of problems there. I had other friends who were, not American. Okay. And, they weren't necessarily white or whatnot, and they got a hard time sometimes. They had a harder time in Japan. And I don't think that's right in any way whatsoever. But I think it's key, no matter, what, who you are, what you are, what race you are, et cetera, et cetera. If you're an American, let the Japanese know that you're an American, because they love Americans for the most part. I'm not saying overall. Where the military bases are, there's problems. There's problems in those areas. But otherwise, if you let them know, America Jin des, you're still a gaijin, you're still a foreigner, okay, but they're going to treat you with a certain degree of respect. And they might even start speaking English with you. They love to practice their English on foreigners. They all want to learn American style English. Europeans learn British style English, but in Japan they want to learn American English. So you can't ask a Japanese cop if this is Nazi Germany asking for your papers like the Sov sits. I mean, the sovereign citizen, I just got to say that the sovereign citizens would probably they would not get very far in Japan. They would not get very far in Japan. Okay. Bob, I can't. Bob, I got it. That comment's gonna hurt me a little bit. I can't get that comment's gonna hurt me a little. We got to be family friendly for YouTube. But yeah, getting Japanese citizenship is extremely difficult, and they'd be sitting in a Japanese jail quick. Absolutely. Japanese sovereign citizens are nearer than their American counterparts. Are they out there, Joe Donho? I mean, I don't know. Are they out there? They'd be sitting in a Japanese jail real quick. Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine, from what I've seen with Japanese police, they would be on it real quick. I'll tell you, here's another story. When I was in Okinawa, so I was in the Air Force, I was an F-15 crew chief. What the Air Force used to do was, especially on overseas bases, is they'll pull people out of the regular Air Force and make you, like, they call them security forces augmentees. So you get to go play cop for a little while, and I wanted to do it, so I volunteered for it. Okay, so I was a security forces augmentee for like 3 or 4 months, and I thought it was really cool because, you know, we were trained on M16s, and, you know, in the Air Force they train us on guns in basic training, and then you may never see a gun again. And you know, I wanted M16. Like, I wanted, you know, the security forces walk around with M16s. I thought it was cool, so they do a quick refresher course, and for the augmentees, and then boom, I went and I was an augmentee for it was either 3 or 4 months. Now, they didn't put me on regular police duty, Chief, so don't let your head explode. I know you might. What they did was I was basically did work security only, right? So on a military base, you'll work you know, on a military base, right? Security forces, MP are doing a whole bunch of things. You have to protect assets. Okay, so there's different levels of assets on a military base that get higher levels of protection. Okay, like force protection. Then you have to protect the base itself. That's sort of like general security. And then there's police duties. They don't put augmentees on the police duties because that's more training. So they have to respond to, you know, thefts or domestic violence incidents on the base, any type of crime on the base. What I did when I was security forces augmentee, I had 2 jobs. I did flight line security and I worked the gate. Flight line security was cool because we would I should admit that. So if I was in a vehicle and we were patrolling the flight line, they never left me alone, first of all. So I was always with a fully trained security forces airman. But that's not true. They'd put me on a post. Well, but if I was in a vehicle, we would drive around and we would park and watch movies. Okay. I never watched so many movies before in those 3 months because literally we would just be sitting on this flight line in Japan, which is no crime, no wartime activity. Okay. We're in a friendly country. And we'd watch movies on the flight line in our vehicle. Okay. For hours. I watched so many movies. And all the guys, like when I got in there, they're like, it was like trading like cigarettes in the jail. They'd be like, what movies you got? What you got, man? What you got, bro? Let me see your collection. I come in with like my little slider with DVDs, you know, it's back in like 2003, my little slider with DVDs. Jarhead, where were you at? Where were you at, man? I was on Kadena, obviously. Were you on Futenma? Anyway, and we'd all, then they'd be like, what movies you got? What movies you got? And I was bringing in like new movies. Now we all bought movies from the BX, so we all sort of had the same movie. But it was like trading cigarettes. It was like we were drug dealers with the movies. And some of the guys would be like, "Yo, ride with me. You got that movie? Ride with me," because they wanted to see that movie. And so we watched movies in the cars, and we would patrol the flight line. It was kind of neat because I got to check out, as a crew chief, I got to check out a lot of the different aircraft that I wasn't usually working on. The AWACS, which is a really big airframe that flies up in the sky and and coordinates through radar, like an entire battle area. That's one of the high force protections. So I guarded the AWACS a couple of times too. So that was one of my posts. The other post is they would literally put a single airman in a small little shack out on the middle of the flight line. And the job really, when you're doing that, is to stay awake. That's the job, is to stay awake. And they would do like surprise, like the lieutenants would roll up on us. It'd be like 4 a.m. I worked the overnight shift. The lieutenants would roll up on you and do do like a readiness check and knock on the door, and like the lieutenant would come, and, you know, we'd have to snap and salute, and he'd ask questions, boom, boom, boom. So they were trying to keep you on your toes. But that was extremely boring because I'm literally just sitting in the shack on the flight line, looking out over this area of flight line. Nothing is happening for hours and hours and hours. But I got to watch the sun rise and set. It was kind of neat in a way. But my last base, Foster. Okay. I remember Camp Foster. So my I also worked the gate. This brings me back to my story. I know I did a big roundabout on you guys. That's how I tell stories. I worked the gate, and as most U.S. military bases overseas, there is a status of forces compact with the home country, and this is true of every permanent base overseas. They have to hire so many of the locals for the jobs, and a lot of our security forces were actually Japanese citizens, and I don't know if they were Japanese police who would do this, or I think they were just Japanese citizens who maybe trained for this job specially, would get hired on the base, and they would do gate security with us. So they had regular Air Force and then the Japanese security forces. Now, the Japanese didn't generally do the patrols on base, but they would work the gates, and they probably got a lot of benefits from it. Like they could go, they'd go on a base, shop at the BX, shop at the commissary, go to the restaurants, etc. Anyway, I worked with this one Japanese gate guard, and he was like by the book on everything. Okay, and the one thing that we were supposed to look out for was drunk airmen coming onto the base. And like some of them might be, now the drinking age I believe was 19 or 20 in Japan. I believe it was 20, but there's plenty of airmen who were 18 and 19. So that was kind of the big thing, is to try to catch, first, number one, catch DUIs, people driving onto the base drunk, and catch, underagers who would be walking on. One time this guy came on, and I don't know, he did, like, listen, from a distance, he kind of appeared like, if you looked at his face, you would have thought he was drunk. Okay. And I don't know how old he was. I honestly don't remember exactly. I can't remember this exactly. I think he might have been like 18 or 19, but I checked his ID and I let him on the base. And the Japanese guard came over to me and he's like, "What are you doing? That guy, like, you look drunk. You look drunk." I was like, "No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so." And it was, listen, I was, did I let that guy get a sort of a free pass there? Yeah, probably. Should I have done that? No, but I was pretty young at the time. I was old enough to drink, though, as soon as I got to Japan. But they were just totally by the book on everything. And some of the other regular security forces would let the other airmen, like, bring girls in who they weren't supposed to bring onto the base, that didn't have the proper base pass, okay, or put girls in the trunk, and it'd be like a nod and a wink, and let them drive them onto base. Camp Foster. We used to go, what did they used to have on Marine Corps Air Station Futenma? They used to have, they did the air show. They do an air show there. And we used to go to Futenma every year. I can't talk. I was at Paris Island for 8 years, butthole of the world. Ron Fuller, 2 World War II vets were in the first wave of the occupation force upon Japan's surrender, told me they were afraid of what they would find there. Instead, they found the Japanese very friendly, extremely friendly and polite. The cost of living in Japan is eye-watering. It's incredibly high, especially in Tokyo. If you were on Gadena Air Base and you were standing on Tumi Village, Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. I know, House. I know, sir. I know, C-Dub. I know. When I watch that movie, it's like it brings me back there. We did go to the Air Force Base a lot. We loaded and unloaded planes. Roger that. Barbecue Bob, did you enjoy the sand fleas at the island? We ate them like candy. Yeah, I used to go on to, I believe it was Foster. When I was there, Jarhead had a subway, and Kadena didn't have a subway. So we would go to me and my one buddy would like go to Subway like once a week. It was like our thing, over on Camp Foster. And Foster, if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but Foster had an outdoor tent market. I bought a bunch of. I love that market. It was really cool. That might have been Futenma. I cannot remember. But yeah, that's what you get on. Kadena is Air Force and Marines. Not to mention the Skeeters. Okay, any topics anybody want to talk about? I know I got on a I got on a rant there. My apologies. Boom, 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 boom. Asset forfeiture. So, Don, I don't know that much about that, much more than the regular person. Here's what I will tell you that I have seen. So, the cases where they're taking like people's houses and stuff is usually like federal type stuff. Um, what I see a lot is what happens in my cases, okay, because I deal with a lot of drug dealers, et cetera, drug users, drug dealers. What's the difference? The police will come and they will search a house and they will confiscate all the weapons. Well, oftentimes there's someone in the house who lives there who owned a gun legally. And so while the criminal case is pending, they will come to me to get that gun back. We have to do a special motion for return of property to get the weapon back. Oftentimes, if you can prove ownership, the judges don't have a problem giving it back. There is a weird issue, I can tell you, it's going on right now in one of the counties over here in Western PA, has to do with the corona. So I don't know if this, you guys, let me know if this is happening in your counties, in your cities and towns, is people are rushing to get their concealed carry permits, okay, because we're facing the zombie apocalypse or something. Anyway, Allegheny County they were limiting the number. They're trying to limit the number, but they're still allowing people to get their permits. Well, one of the other counties around here closed down the office. And they said that it was because they didn't want to expose their employees to coronavirus. Well, a lot of people are upset because they want their concealed carry permit. I mean, that's a right. That's a right, right? That's a right under the law. So that was all over the news. There's a big outrage about it. People are trying to get their concealed carry permit. Jarhead, I remember the Habu. Okay, everybody, listen. You remember the Habu? Hold on. I got a bottle. Stay right here. I'm going to leave. Don't let anybody leave this chat. Do not leave this chat. Okay, so this is many of you have maybe drank Japanese beer. You can probably get Korean here in the United States. I've seen it pop up a little more. When I was there back in 2002, hey Taze, thanks for joining us. We talked about Japan, Kevin, and we're still talking about it, my time in the military. Anyway, when I was there back in 2002, Korean Ichiban was very difficult to get. So, I used to drink Korean Ichiban a lot. I like Sapporo, Orion, also drank Orion a lot. And I kept this. This is a souvenir. Okay. Many of you. So who has seen Lost in Translation when Bill Murray does the Suntory whiskey? So many of you may also know. Hello, everybody. Hello. The Japanese like whiskey a lot, and Suntory is one of the more famous brands. I bought this as a souvenir. I also drank Suntory whiskey. But whoever mentioned the Habu snake, if you haven't seen it before, Here is a Habu up close and personal. There he is. What I have here is Habu sake. I will do another same time sip. Mrs. Jarhead from Uniontown. I go to Uniontown all the time. I will do another same time sip, but I will not drink this. This takes me back 20 years. I'm older than I look. This takes me back 20 years, or maybe I was really young when I was there. This is Habu sake, okay, where apparently the sake is run through the snake. It's distilled through the snake. And then as you can see, the snake is preserved within the sake. And like I said, I studied some Japanese. So this is ha-bu. And that is the symbol for sake. Habu sake. And this bottle is, I probably bought this in 2006. No. I was there in 2002, 2003. I probably bought this in 2004. I bought this. Yeah, it's like mezcal with a snake. I probably bought this in 2004, so it's 16 years old. And the bottle is empty. One person actually drank out of it when I lived at I lived in a house with a bunch of people and somebody drank out of it. I wanted to kill that individual. I did not. I should have. Just kidding. I was pretty upset that they drank out of this. They were drunk and they drank out of it. They actually drank a little bit of it, but only probably that much. Okay. Only probably that much. And then the rest of it has evaporated because it was probably about that high a long time ago. The rest of it's evaporated. But this is one of my souvenirs. I drank a lot of this over there. I was actually known amongst my friends for drinking Habu sake because some of them didn't want to do it or wouldn't drink it. And I was trying to be a tough guy, I guess. So I've drinking a lot of Habu sake in my life. Thank you, SG Sergeant P. That's my show, mostly sovereign citizens. Hubby was too young to drink when he lived in Japan. He still likes the drinks with the glass ball in the bottleneck. I was a Kadena in 78. Taze, did you drink Habu sake? Habu sake? Habu sake? Oh my God, yuck. When I was in the field in Okinawa, someone in my platoon tried pooping and he came around a curve in the trail with his pants down being chased by a Habu. They are venomous and they are poisonous. There's like 1 or 2 people die every year from a Habu bite. Those are badass snakes. Yeah, they are. Asset forfeiture is happening during traffic stops all over the country. Police pull over a motorist, find you carrying 10,000 cash. Well, yeah, cash is a problem. Cash is a big problem with asset forfeiture. And I've gotten cash. Cash is one of the most difficult things to fight to get. Because, you know, law enforcement in the district attorney's office, it's very easy for them to claim that it was drug related. And if the individuals end up pleading guilty to a drug related charge, they're not going to get it back. They're not going to get it back. So you got to win your case usually to beat asset forfeiture. You got to win your case. They had a Habu hotline to call if you, I don't remember when you drank some, Jarhead. Yeah, there was, do you guys remember Gate 2 Street? Gate 2 Street, right out of Kadena, right outside of Gate 2. So down Gate 2 Street, there was this bar right at the end, and they had this a big barrel of Habu sake, and they had like 3 or 4 of the snakes in there. And if pretty much every Friday night, me and my friends would end up down there, and they said, "Who wants to lick the snake? Who wants to lick the snake?" And they would pull the snake out with the thing, and then I would lick the head of the snake. So I've licked those snakes. Bad axe. Yeah, if the cops find 10,000 in my car, I'd be more surprised than they would. I mean, don't carry that kind of cash around. I don't know what to, don't really. Whisper Alley. Yeah, Days. That's pretty different. That's pretty different from America. I never swallowed the snake. No, we would just lick it. But the thing is, if you look closely, if you look closely, there's little pieces and scales and shit that comes off it. So whenever you take a drink, you're like you're getting the scales. Yeah, everyone is using the net, Kevin. I've had a couple of times today. I've had trouble getting internet. It's a problem. It is definitely like that was the biggest thing. That's what I was saying. I was like, is again, if I have internet, water, and coffee, shoot, it's about to get warm out. I don't even need the heat. I have internet, water, and coffee. I can last for months. But that's often a problem with asset forfeiture in cash. And the thing too is that, like people get busted and they have a bunch of cash in their pocket and drugs broken up, and they come back to me and they're all like, I want the cash back. And they'll be like, that was money I collected from rent, or that was my paycheck. And I'm like, well, look, man, you got caught while you had $1,000 in cash and 10 baggies of cocaine. Like, what are you expecting? 36 male looking for ladies with webbed feet. We've been having trouble too. Yeah, I've been having trouble. Must have bagels. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Would you like some Suntory whiskey? Some Karini Chiban? Karini Chiban? Or the Habu sake. Habu sake. So yeah, the two new videos I did on sovereigns. The one was the recording of the sovereign citizen Moore talking about how coronavirus cannot be transmitted through your heirs. She was trying to make the argument that coronavirus could only be transmitted through it appears to be like she said forefathers, so your relatives, your parents. That's dangerous and completely incorrect. And then she went on to talk about how to get fake identification cards. Whew, some people. Then the other recent video I did, which I took off Van Bay on and he had put up, was a traffic stop where the guy, hands the officer a couple of papers and tells him to read that to assert his rights. And then he drives off, totally increasing the amount of criminal charges that he was going to get. I mean, I can tell you, I've represented a number of people charged with fleeing and eluding. You do not want to flee and elude from the police in a vehicle, okay? You're going to get about 10 new charges and you're going to get felony charges. It's going to be a bad day. A bad day. How ironic, a holiday of drinking and congregating with folks at the local bar, and there's a quarantine. I know, Bob. I know, man. I know. Whatever happened to the guy who fled police? Well, if you go to Van's channel, I don't know if you went to Van Bayon's channel, Giordano. Van's channel, he said that the guy, I guess I tried to link to the source video. I did click on the source video. It's gone. Apparently he got pulled over again and then claimed that he was allowed to flee because he never contracted with the police. So I imagine they stopped him and they arrested him. Yeah, local metal. If for some reason you have that much cash in your car, make sure you have the paperwork proving you legally have it, and don't hesitate to tell them what you plan on doing with it. I agree. Absolutely. 100%. Can we collect sovereigns and Moors and harvest their organs? No, I don't think we can. I just watched the video of Sov's nation building. Do they actually think they can get their own land? Scary. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's mostly just a lot of talk, but a lot of almost revolutions started with a bunch of talk and a couple of really dumb people who then end up, getting shot. So they just really, really need to be safe. Weaken Logan's run all the Moors until they change their minds. I don't know what that means, Sergeant. Boom, boom. I want to see the rest of the video. Yeah, I couldn't find the rest of the video. Looks like the source video, they posted it and then they took it down. Can't risk stupidity being passed through the organ transplant. Right, Kevin? Right? So, you know, those were two interesting videos. Let's see, what else did I want to bring up here? Someone had suggested to me, this was interesting. I don't know, maybe if my, and let me know what you guys think, because you're some of my most loyal fans and I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. He said, he suggested, I don't know if you saw this in the comments, that I do some sort of follow-up on each of the encounters. And some of my viewers do follow up. They let me know what happened. Okay, here's the thing. That takes a decent amount of time and research. And so, yeah, it would be cool to like do a video and then maybe at the end be able to post exactly what happened, exactly what that individual was charged with, and then try to follow up with it later. The thing is that would be that's a lot. That's a very large time investment. And excuse me, as you know, this is not my day job. I am actually starting to make a little bit of money off of Google ads, which is good. Because I'm getting my viewers and my view time is going up. So I'm starting to make a little bit of money off my Google ads. But what I would love to do, and again, I don't know if this channel has the potential to ever grow that large. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, is like hire an intern or somebody that I could pay, and nowhere near having the money to do that, but someone I could pay maybe like minimum wage, a couple dollars an hour or something, to go and research these cases for me and then come back with the end results. What do you guys think? I mean, is that something you'd be interested in or something that you just don't care? Is anybody listening to me? Or are we all in the chat? So the suggestion is, you know, that I would research all of the, so I'd do a video, you know, like say with that new soft sit appears to be a Moor who's pulled over. See, here's the thing is we're talking 50 states. That's 50 different online docketing systems. And there'd have to be some sleuth work involved because the source videos don't always give enough information. So somebody would have to like maybe watch the video, identify, you know, where the officers are from, what county this is in, what jurisdiction the officers, and then look in that jurisdiction to try to find. It'd be tough. It's not that easy if you don't have a name. If I was in Pennsylvania, I'd help you. So I don't know. That's something I may do. Mrs. Jarhead, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're here today. Thank you for being one of my first subscribers. I do truly appreciate it. Used to do background checks for a company. Do you have free time, Comfort Doll? Because I'm just saying, like, if this becomes a little bit more profitable, I'm not there yet. That might be something I may be willing to incorporate into the show. Maybe that's something we'll do. Comfort Doll, if you're interested, shoot me an email. Unemployed? Okay, shoot me an email. And maybe, again, holding it down in West Virginia, law school considering pass-fail for classes. Wow, interesting. West Virginia, no COVID, one COVID case, one coronavirus case, but not hurting for money. Well, I mean, so here's the thing, Comfort Doll, is like I would be happy to like pay you something, you know, and it could just be like a hobby, and I give you full credit, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I'd like to see the follow-up. Soft sit in court after their encounter with police. Yeah, right. And here's the thing, though, is that, you know, obviously not all of their court encounters get recorded. But again, it would just take some sleuth work. We probably wouldn't be able to track down all of them. But I do think that's kind of a neat idea. I detect trolls here. Yeah, I don't know. Is this goat butt? Are you a troll? Why are you hiding your... Okay. 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 All right. All right. What a name, goat butt. What a name. Corona keeps getting worse. There'll be plenty more people willing to do research for any money. Well, listen, Riddler, if I'm not going to be able to do it while I'm sitting here in quarantine, because I'm going to need every penny I have too. Trust me. Can I ask a question off topic about gun laws in PA? Absolutely, Scotty. I'll let you know what I know. I'll let you know what I know. Cluster of incompetence every time something happens in America. I don't know, man. I think human beings are just, you know. I'm lucky I'm in a health and welfare essential field. Yeah, that's good. See, that I may still get money because the police are still going to be arresting people. But we'll see. We'll see. Goat butts in timeout. Goat butts in timeout. What's your gun question, Scotty? Have the two Moors been arraigned yet? That's a good one to run up on, Barbecue Bob. Maybe I will look that up. Because look, I'm gonna be working here, so Moors in the courtroom. Kevin, I was married and divorced many, many years ago. I'm currently single. But there's a couple ladies that are kind of in my life right now. So we'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. You mean Elizabeth? You mean Pocahontas? Sergeant P. Crime is a good business, recession-proof. Exactly. So I legally own my handgun 100%. I thought I was good once I passed clearances, but I got denied my concealed carry permit for a possession charge from 19 years ago. What way can I carry my gun even if openly? Scotty, I'm going to get back to you on that. I really, I need to just sit down and learn all the gun laws because I get a lot of questions and that. My understanding is you can open carry in Pennsylvania. So as long as your gun is not concealed, I don't know the exact legal language. You can open carry in PA though. So as long, be careful about driving in a car. That's where the concealed carry permit really comes into effect, because if you don't have it, I believe in a car, you got to have it in a container, et cetera, maybe even in the trunk if you don't have the concealed carry permit. Something along those lines. This is not legal advice. This is just some knowledge that I have here, okay? You can the open carry is allowed in PA, so I believe that you can, carry in a holster out and about out in Pennsylvania. Now, certain private businesses are able to not allow you in. I'm not sure. I really don't know. VA is an open carry state, and we also have concealed carry as well. Yeah, the same is true in Pennsylvania. We have concealed carry and open carry. I don't know enough about open carry. I don't know enough. I do know that I would guess that as long as the weapon is visible and obvious and not concealed in any way, you can walk around with your weapon. I mean, people open carry, just holding, an AR. West Virginia, open carry and no concealed carry permit required. It's nice. Yeah, that is kind of nice. As long as it's not covered by clothing and is visible. Yeah, that's my understanding. I would have to do some research. There might be some case law out there, get us a real good understanding. Yeah, I'm going to look into those Moors in the courtroom, and I'm going to look into open carry in PA at least. I do know a bit about like your gun rights getting, if you're convicted of a crime that can carry more than 2 years in jail, your federal gun rights are revoked. And that goes from state to state. I heard Virgo Triad discussing on Artie's stream about Jamel from Rise of the Moors have been arrested. Does anybody know anything about that? I do not. Comfort Doll email sent. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I'm not going to do this soon, but if I make more money from the channel, I might. Which reminds me, everybody, I'm going to do a quick ad. I'm hawking Black Rifle coffee. It's a good coffee. You can buy it on a link from me through Amazon. I do get a percentage of the profits. Black Rifle's owned by veterans. A percentage of all of their profits goes to veterans causes. It's not a cheap coffee, that's true. It's like $15 for a bag, but it's really good and it goes to a good cause. The link is in all my videos. I do need a few more sales. Amazon makes you get a certain number of sales to continue advertising Amazon affiliate links. Yeah, Black Rifle is really cool. Comfort Doll, if you could buy through one of my links sometime, please. Just one. They do sell it in K-cups, Gary. And you guys, FYI, on my affiliate links. So I do, again, I profit. Amazon makes me say this. You go into my Amazon links, you buy other products, I can get credit for that as well. So if you shop on Amazon regularly, dive into one of my links and buy some of your products. But they do sell K-cups. I'll post the K-cup link. I'll post the K-cup links from now on. Excuse me. Okay, everyone, 10 o'clock. It's a little late for Joe. Though I'll tell you what, thanks also, I do not have any felonies, only misdemeanor. Even the sheriff said it was BS. Scotty, you're in Pennsylvania? Send me an email, man. There are ways, I have to look, but you can, number one, recent Pennsylvania Clean Slate Act made it easier to get your records sealed and or certain expungements. So you may be able to get that record sealed. There may be a way for us to impact the ability of you to get the concealed carry permit, and or you may be able to appeal that decision or take it to a judge. So seriously, I will look into it for you. You drop me a $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I will look into it for you. No charge. I want to learn a little more about it. So send me a private email and we'll discuss a little bit. I'll just need to get some basic information from you and I can start to look it up. I want to see exactly what the misdemeanor is, et cetera, et cetera. You're my favorite lawyer and I've been divorced 2 times. Nobody likes their divorce attorney. Thank you, Jack. Nobody likes their divorce attorney, especially if that divorce attorney charges you $500 an hour or even $250 an hour. Kevin in the house, Jack Wilson. Scott, yeah, I mean, Scott, I can talk to you about a pardon too. How long ago has it been? Okay, everybody. You're my favorite Ernie too. All right, Lynn, how you doing? Thanks for jumping in. I didn't know you were in the chat. Everybody, before you leave, give me a like. You know, drop me a little like. Give me a little like. Give me a little more exposure. Go, but I thought I got rid of you. You're gone. All right. My divorce attorney was Jag, so I lucked out and love them. I could see that. I could see that. When an attorney has been a state court solicitor. Depends on the state, Comfort Doll, because everybody uses different terms, but solicitors are generally attorneys who represent the government. A solicitor is an attorney who represents the government, at least in America. In the United Kingdom and other countries, has different meanings. My wife is a phlebotomist. I have big veins. I like my divorce lawyer. She was cute and freed me from 10 years of hell. Yeah, I guess divorce lawyers are generally liked at the end of the day. Okay, everybody. Scotty, shoot me an email, newsletter at palmettolaw.com. Cheers. Let's pray for this country. Let's get through this coronavirus together. Thank you for subscribing, Sergeant P. I appreciate it. Let's get through this coronavirus, and I'll probably be doing a lot of these shows in the coming days and weeks as long as we're quarantined. Common Sense Academy, Joe the lawyer out. Thank you for coming.